We talk about Americans. We're not one America. I mean, come on, let's be real. I mean, we're at least two Americas. I mean, we've seen that because the ideological differences are huge on some of the issues related to Islam and Muslims and the Middle East and race politics in America, which we also poll on. The differences between Republicans and Democrats are 50 percentage points to 60 percentage points. That's not one country. That's more than one country. And so what we have is we have a diversity of views. And if you want to define who are the people who are defining one camp or the other, the one that is far more tolerant, far more globalist, far more even people who identify themselves more, I'm more a citizen of the world than I consider myself to be an American. You're talking about the millennials. You're talking about women. You're talking about Hispanics. You're talking about African Americans, the core constituency of the Democratic Party, and that is moving in a direction of more acceptance and toleration. No question. We see that in the polls. On the right, it's a complicated story because I don't think most of the support for Trump is coming from the right. As I said, he won some of the people who voted for Obama because they wanted change. You could look at it in some of the, particularly the Rust Belt countries, the Rust Belt states, where you had some counties that went for him and now went for Trump. And so it's hard to pull, but in my own polling, that polarization is mostly centered on the evangelicals within the Republican Party when it comes to attitudes toward Islam and the Middle East. They have become, by the way, they constitute probably 30 to 35% of the Republican Party. Some people say even maybe 40% in some places. When you ask them on that question, they are by far, they have the most unfavorable view of Islam and Muslims. And it's driven by all sorts of things, a narrative of their own. Some of it is religious, pushed by their own religious leaders. Some of it is tied to Israel, because Israel is such an important issue in there. And if you take the evangelicals out of the Republican Party, and then you look at the public opinion of the Republican Party on matters related to the Middle East, it's not so far off from the rest of the country. So what you have here is a polarization that is not likely to be, it's going to be affected by what the signals are going to come from the commander-in-chief, but not necessarily in the same ways. What I fear is, number one, increased polarization. Number one, empowerment of those few, yes, a minority, yes, but nonetheless, sizable minority extremist racists who will be emboldened to do things that are hurtful to not only Muslims, but hurtful to America, hurtful to America's image, hurtful to what America stands for. It's a real fear I have.